Since 1999, the Chinese government started making May 1st International Labor Day a long holiday that's 5 to 7 days long. Thus, the May 1st holiday has received the name the Golden Week. This year's May 1st Golden Week ran from April 29th to May 3rd. Because people have been stuck at home for the past 3 years, the number of domestic travelers in China has increased dramatically. Therefore, a peculiar view of crowds of people at all tourist attractions was seen this long weekend. Look, there were people everywhere. I bought a ticket to see animals, but it turned out to be pigs.
Families, May Day holiday. At last, no need to go to work and get stuck in traffic, but only to get stuck here.
The Ministry of Culture and Tourism of China estimates that a total of 274 million domestic tourist trips were made nationwide, representing a growth of 70.83% compared to the same period in 2022. Compared to May Day 2019, the year before the COVID-19 epidemic, the number of tourist arrivals grew by 19.09%. It seems that China's tourism industry is booming, but when taking a closer look, we find the situation isn't so promising. This college student traveled with a pack of steamed buns to save money on food. This is a typical style of traveling with little to no money. It has been popular among young people in China. After all, students who haven't graduated are in financial constraints. In this year's May Day Golden Week, this style of traveling poor has expanded to cover a wider spectrum of people. Those who feel the most impact of such changes are the business owners who once held high expectations of the Golden Week. Every year, during the May 1st Golden Week and October 1 Golden Week, we have the best business and sell the most computers at our physical store. Last year, we sold more than 50 computers in 5 days during the May 1st Golden Week, and the year before that, we sold more than 70. We were able to sell 2 to 3 months worth of computers in 5 days, which is a very high sales volume. For this year's May Day holiday, we plan to stock up the day before. We asked our peers, we asked colleagues at the Dell computer. I said, "How many products are you going to stock?" He said, "We don't need to stock, we can't even sell what's in stock." So I asked the counterparts of Asus computers. They also inquired about the counterparts of HP, and they all said there was a bunch of inventory inside the stores. They couldn't sell out, so there was no need to stock. I didn't believe it. Because I am a web star, how can I not stock up? So I prepared these. Here are 3 new computers, here are 6, here are 6 more, and there are 10 units laid out. We have all the corresponding products in stock. In total, there are about 90 plus in stock. But today, it's May 1st, the first day of Golden Week, and we haven't sold a single one. In this way, how can we pay back the suppliers? And look at this side of the assembly area. Here are cases, here are monitors. We have prepared so many products. Brothers, look at our store. No one, there was no one here.
现在在广州市越秀区的北京路步行街啊，
I am now on Beijing Road in Yueshu District, Guangzhou. It's a pedestrian street. Today is May 3rd, 2023, the last day of the holiday. Look at this place. It is still crowded and seems busy. It's so busy, so many people. Many of them are tourists from out of town. I heard that all the tourist spots in Guangzhou are occupied by out-of-town visitors. Look, there are many shops selling food here.
这边很多卖小吃的。
Here is a sea of people. I walked around and found that on Beijing Road, except for stores selling snacks, food, drinks, and milk tea, which are doing some business, the rest of those stores that sell jewelry and clothing aren't doing well. No idea why. There was one that does very good business. What is it? Guess. It's the lottery place. The lottery ticket sales over here are always busy with people. It seems that everyone wants to make a fortune.
那大家看一下，这边很多店铺呢都是
Everyone, look, here is the Guangzhou department store. Very little foot traffic inside it. Everyone, take a look. Many stores here, but very little business. As today is the last day of the holiday, people will become fewer. Many tourists are ready to go home. There will be fewer people on these commercial streets in Guangzhou.
看一下这里吧。之前这里是天河城百货的，现在变成了恒润广场啊。
This used to be the Tianhe City department store, but now it's changed to Hengrun Plaza. Let's go inside and see how it's doing. Now there aren't many people at the entrance. After going inside, I found that there was very little traffic. The storefront has barely anyone. The business of physical stores is really difficult now. People are browsing. Now there aren't even that many people browsing. Such a big shopping mall with only a few customers. People just come to the mall to rest. All the products are 60 to 90% off throughout the mall.
全场的商品呢都是一轴啊、两轴啊、三轴啊、四轴这样子的，但是还是很少人呐。
看一下这是什么五一劳动节，我们
Take a look at this, everyone. This is our physical store on May 1st Labor Day holiday. It's very quiet over here. What kind of a holiday vibe is this? What's our physical store like? Today is the last day of the Labor Day holiday, a 5-day holiday. Many friends have asked me how much money I made during this golden week. To tell you the truth, I haven't made a penny. This May Day labor holiday, I went shopping for the first 2 days. I didn't open the store and didn't sell anything. That is zero income. Yesterday and today, the store was open, but you can see our street. Although it's said to be a holiday, this street is still quiet, super quiet. The store next door has been open. They told me it's been quiet. Yesterday, a few people came to my store. Today, there was no one. How are you supposed to do business like this? I saw a similar situation on the Beijing Road, except for some food stores. Other businesses that sell clothes, shoes, and household goods aren't doing well. Apart from food, other businesses aren't doing well at all. Really, I'm not lying to you. Our physical stores are really difficult to run. It's extremely difficult to do.
Even according to the data from the Chinese government, the outside world has observed the style of Chinese people traveling poor this year. According to the Chinese Ministry of Culture and Tourism, domestic tourism revenue was RMB 148.056 billion, largely recovering at a rate of 100.66% compared to the same period in 2019. In other words, although the number of tourist arrivals grew by 19.09% compared to 2019 before the COVID-19 outbreak, tourism revenue only increased by 0.66%. Generally speaking, tourism revenue has a positive relationship with the number of tourists. However, numbers show that the per capita tourism spending is trending downward, only 540 yuan per person or US $78. In 2023, it has only recovered to 80.8% of that in 2019. Also, May Day 2019 had only 4 days of holidays, while May Day 2023 had 5 days of holidays. This is the official data, which is usually retouched by the authorities. Feedback from the public is more authentic.
这个五一假期终于结束了，终于熬出头了，太难了，再这样熬下去，我感觉我要疯了。
This May Day holiday is finally over. I finally made it through. It was so hard. If this continues, I feel like I'm going crazy. Only on May 1st, I did business of 5,000 yuan or US $724. This has to stop. People are going crazy. The customers who came into the store seem to think that I got all these clothes at no cost. It's true, there were a lot of people on the street, not the usual number of people. People are really out.
人是真的出动了，实体店真没希望，至少别人的我不知道，我说的是我这个。
But there is no hope for the physical store. Really, I don't know about others. At least my industry, I'm talking about. There's really nothing to look forward to. How many people looked forward to May Day to bring business? I had a hunch, so I didn't stock much. Like today, I had US 217 in sales during the day, but not a penny at night.
你的心里那个落差。
Hey, I'm just too sad. I am speechless. Just live with it and try to live a good day every day. The good thing is that the holiday is over. I don't need to get my hopes up, because if it's a holiday and the business is terrible, it's hard on me with all the frustration, disappointment, and sadness. If it's regular days, so be it. It doesn't matter. In the future, it's going to be very difficult to even keep the store running.
肯定就是开张都难了。 不信你等着瞧。
May Day should be the busiest time for physical stores. The busiest time is also the time when business is booming, but many stores have closed. These advertisements stated, popular shop transfer. If it's popular, why do you transfer it? Is the year 2023 a year of vicious competition among physical stores? It's too difficult. Some experts say that after the epidemic, there will be retaliatory spending in 2023. But what I see is that after the epidemic, physical stores are even more difficult. Many stores are locked up. A sign advertising space for rent is posted at the entrance.
China's state news agency described this Golden Week as an overall safe, stable, and orderly holiday market with a rich supply of cultural and tourism products, and a strong recovery in the culture and tourism industry. Indeed, the news is so good that the only thing missing is a fireworks celebration. Many local governments also want to take advantage of the Golden Week tourism opportunity to boost spending. Look, on the train you can see the local special art form of face change.
It's the first time for me to enjoy authentic Chengdu hot pot food on the train. It's really great and amazing.
Do you think it's all easy? No, this holiday model is the result of a study by the Chinese government piling up money. On April 26, 2023, China Business Journal reported that the leaders of Tsinghua University's China Institute of Economic Thought and Practice said that the Golden Week was the result of half a year of brainstorming by more than 30 experts. However, the disclosure of this information has made some Chinese furious. I never thought that the May Day holiday, which looked prosperous and dazzling this year, was the result of more than 30 experts from the Institute of Economic Thought and Practice of Tsinghua University. They racked their brains, overcame all kinds of difficulties, and spent half a year to come up with the plan. After reading this news, I am not so calm anymore. According to the news, it is said to be a certain Professor Yu Wan, the director of the institute at Tsinghua University. I am not an expert in social science, so I am not qualified to evaluate whether such a plan for a long holiday is reasonable. But what I want to say is, on a matter such as a holiday, does it require so many people to study it for such a long time? Isn't the efficiency a little low? Do they have nowhere to use the research money? I have learned that it's really the case that according to incomplete statistics, Tsinghua University ranks first among Chinese universities in terms of budget funding, which is 41 billion yuan this year, i.e. 5.9 billion US dollars. The average of 100,000 US dollars per person. The budget also includes the balance of last year's 1.8 billion US dollars. That is, in 2022, Tsinghua University had 1.8 billion US dollars in unspent funding. I have to say, the university's research funds are really rich. Perhaps I am a little narrow-minded. But I think it would have been nice to stock up on a batch of NVIDIA A100H accelerator cards before the US banned the sale of chips last year. 30,000 A100s will only cost US $430 million. If you spend billions of dollars on building a data center, it would be able to match the computing power of OpenAI, right? The top universities need to focus on the most advanced research topics. I suggest Professor Yuan research some other topics. For example, it is said that more than 80% of Tsinghua students choose to stay overseas and won't return to China. So, Professor Yuan, do you think it's a good idea to research how to make talents return? Or you can research how to better stabilize the country's housing prices, prevent oil prices from going up, and so on. These things would be fine as well. An old alumnus of Tsinghua, Professor Ji Xinlin, said that experts finished discussing the issue and left. The problem is still there, unaddressed in its original form. Let's proceed to look at some of the special experiences of the Golden Week model created by the experts. The line at the entrance of the public restroom was 2 kilometers long because of the overwhelming number of people at the venue. Garbage everywhere is also a regular sight after the crowd disperses. The public toilets in China's renowned mountains are crowded with overnight visitors because of too many tourists. In some places, when hotels can't accommodate this many people, or when there are people who can't afford to stay in hotels, people simply sleep on the streets. According to the news on the Chinese internet, tourists generally report that this trip has become more expensive. In particular, hotels have gone up by a frightening rate, some 6 times.
700多是吧？平时是多少钱？190。现在涨的是最低800。平时的话280有350，还有其他的地方都会涨，价格现在基本上都是在900多的价格。
There have always been cases of being ripped off by vendors in tourist attraction sites, and this year is no exception. Here's a netizen complaining about being ripped off in Lijiang, Yunnan province, where 2 skewers of bugs on a barbecue cost US $9. Are you sure this is what I bought? Are you sure this is a crispy chicken drum burger? This is definitely not a burger. It's not a question of refunding money. What the hell is this? I opened it and there were only 2 pieces of bread. There was no burger. What kind of service area is this? May Day started with fraud. You get your refund. Now, don't make a fuss here.
You're deliberately trying to cheat us out of money, aren't you?
It's not cheating.
You sold us one for 8 yuan when we didn't ask for the price, but one for 6 yuan when we asked for the price.
Yes, right. Next time you have to ask the price first when you buy something. Common folks are giving up major spending and high-end consumption, turning to cheap consumption with their small spare money. It reflects the economic downturn and the employment pressure in China. China's so-called experts are afraid to look squarely into the future. In truth, the impact of the bursting real estate bubble can only be mitigated and gradually digested over time. That is, if China can adjust its industrial structure in a timely manner, abandon its land finance and real estate economy, and develop industrial and innovative technology industries. These can create more and high-quality jobs and cultivate a middle class with purchasing power to maintain a thriving consumer market and a healthy market cycle. The poor tourism industry of this May Day Golden Week has shown that the downgrading of national consumption and driving the tourism industry to the lower end of the scale does little to create employment and sustain spending power. If local governments just see this momentary trend and go all out to develop the tourism and snack industry, it would be a step in the opposite direction.